Things are falling apart both in the government and in the opposition. The center can no longer hold. It's not business as usual, and the earlier William Ruto realizes that, the better for him. At a time like this last year, Gen Zs took to the streets saying no to the finance bill. The protest started on a low key, but they did gain momentum as time went by, and we had parliament for the first time being raided. That was last year. As I talk, Kenyans are back on the streets demanding DIG Lang'at to go. Have a look at what has been happening in Nairobi CBD before we dig deeper into our analysis. Have a look at this. Let's put that into perspective, in which I will explain why I believe William Ruto is winning the war against the opposition leaders, because the leaders are clueless, greedy, and the same old faces that are not being trusted by Kenyans. But if Ruto is not careful, he might end up losing the war to Kenyans. If you are watching us but you are not yet subscribed, subscribe, give the video a like. Let's proceed. Those are Kenyans protesting, demanding DIG Lang'at to go. And they're demanding for Lang'at to go because of the killing of Albert Ojwang. Ojwang was arrested, transferred all the way from Homa Bay to Nairobi. Varied versions of his death are now emerging, which we are also going to discuss in our next videos. But most Kenyans are of a very strong opinion that DIG Lang'at was involved in Albert Ojwang's death, and that's why Kenyans are demanding for Lang'at to go. Last year, the protest started off on a low key, just like these ones we are seeing today. Nobody expected that it could reach a point where the protesters could even raid Parliament, a highly guarded place. Just as it did happen last year, it can also happen this year. The protests can start small, but they can gain momentum of their own if the government is not very, very careful. From where I sit, it would be more prudent for William Ruto's government to let go of Lang'at, because if Lang'at is still in office, then we don't know what might happen next. His presence as a DIG can anger Kenyans more. It would be more prudent for him to step aside for the investigations to conclude. William Ruto should not assume that things are back to normal. Looking on how William Ruto is playing his politics, I'm seeing a man who is trying to bite more than he can chew. I'm seeing a William Ruto who thinks he can manage both the mountain and Raila Odinga support bases at the same time. That's one thing that might be eating up William Samoei Ruto. Ruto has to make a choice. If he wants to go with Raila Odinga, let him make sure he is in a very strong working relationship with Raila Odinga and Raila Odinga support bases before he reaches out to the mountain. Because as it appears, William Ruto, he has not yet made a very strong working relationship with Raila Odinga and Raila Odinga support bases. But he's also trying at the same time to reach out to the mountain. That's a blunder. He should first of all have a very strong working relationship with Raila Odinga and his support bases or with the mountain. The two at the same time is a blunder. I'm saying it's a blunder because Raila support bases and those supporting Raila Odinga, the moment they see William Ruto embracing the mountain, they might not give William Ruto that 100 support. So William Ruto might be getting half support in Raila Odinga support bases and also maybe have support on the mountain. He can't be strong. I believe that's what might be eating up William Ruto. So he has to decide. If it's the mountain, let him cement that relationship first before trying to please Raila Odinga. If it's Raila Odinga and his support bases, let William Ruto cement that first before pleasing the mountain. Let there be a clear-cut kind of a working relationship. But trying to please the two support bases at the same time is just helping in making William Ruto weak and weaker. And as he becomes weak and weaker, he's clearly losing the war against the people. Because with what has just happened, the death of Albert Ojwang is just helping to build animosity against Ruto's government. It's also very clear to me that William Ruto is winning the war against the opposition leaders. The leaders are very greedy. They are the same old faces, the same corrupt faces. Kenyans don't trust them. That's why I strongly believe William Ruto is winning the war against them. The politics being played by the opposition is not in any way different from that of William Ruto. Ethnic politics. And if you want to know the godfather of ethnic politics, that's William Samoei Ruto. It's very unfortunate that Kenyans love such leaders, but if the opposition also adopts that style, then nothing separates them from William Samoei Ruto. They are being seen as chips of the same pot. They cannot win that war against Ruto. Ruto started that war before the opposition and is clearly ahead of them. Look at the leaders supporting William Ruto. William Ruto, very fast, before the opposition woke up, he identified the right ethnic leaders. Ruto knew that by having Raila Odinga on his side, he was easily going to control Nyanza Western, Coast, Nairobi, and Northeastern. And he has also gone ahead to identify some other ethnic kingpins who are now supporting him. The opposition only woke up late. So trying to beat William Ruto in that game, they cannot succeed. William Ruto will eventually split them, and most of these opposition leaders might end up joining William Samoei Ruto. The only way, therefore, of beating William Ruto is not through these opposition leaders. These ones can't beat Ruto. But Kenyans themselves, in their millions, they can rally behind a candidate, maybe a candidate such as Matiang'i, and they might end up just beating all these politicians come the next election. And if Ruto is not careful, these protests that are starting bit by bit can eventually gain momentum, a momentum that William Ruto will not be able to contain. Let me stop it there, ladies and gentlemen. If you are watching us but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give the video a like. Let's meet in our next analysis. Thank you. God bless you. God bless Kenya.